Hello out there in YouTube land. This is Morris Man, and as always, I thank you for viewing my channel. Today I'm going to do, a follow-up to the video I did yesterday that's entitled Please Stop the Killing. And I apologize for becoming emotional at the end, but that's just me. When it comes to topics of people being innocent people being murdered for absolutely no reason, it really touches me and it hurts me to see that those types of things that are going on in the world today. And I guess today I just want to kind of do a short video on, I'm going to give my interpretation, and that's all that it is. I mean, take it for what it is. But I see a lot of things that we have a tendency in this country to kind of overlook, because the first thing that we tend to talk about when these unfortunate events unfold and happen is we need tougher gun laws. Absolutely. I mean, the more you can keep assault weapons out of the homes of people and just out of the general public's reach, it's a good thing. I am not in dispute of that at all. But we tend to kind of overlook the root cause, and we always have a tendency to deal with the surface issues. And I give you a good example of that. Over the summer, Reverend Jesse Jackson, who I've met on many occasions, pretty nice guy, trying to do great things. I commend him for his overall life's work. And he came to Riverdale, and he was boycotting Chuck's gun shop. And this is my take on it. Chuck Gun Shop, they run a reputable business. They are entitled to sell their goods and services. They're just like any other business. They got a product and they're selling and marketing their product, and they have every right to do that. And to me, the issue or the problem is not that it's the guns, it's the problems that bring people to use the guns. That's the problem we need to look at. That is the problem. And it's great to take guns off the street, but if you still have these issues, now people just gonna stab you to death. You take the knives away, they're just gonna beat you to death. So you're just taking their weapon of choice away, but you're still not solving the problem. And there are many reasons that there's crime in this country. And the obvious one is lack of this. I mean, it doesn't take a genius to figure out that the majority of the crimes in this country is because of lack of this, and not to be mistaken with greed of this, meaning that you have people that have a lot of this, they just want more of this. No, we're talking about people that have not much of this and just trying to stay afloat. That's the problem, and we need to try to solve that problem. When I was a teenager, we had an abundance of part-time seasonal jobs, a CETA program. I started working when I was 14. I started shoveling snow, raking leaves, delivering papers, working for the CETA program. I had opportunities and options back then when I was in my teens to generate some legitimate revenue. Now all of these programs have been taken away, and the big politicians say, well, we just don't have it in the budget to keep this in here. You need to be accountable for your actions. I mean, if I don't do my job at work, I lose my job. And it should be the same thing when it comes to politicians. I'm tired of excuses as far as it's just not enough money in here, so we're going to start raising taxes. That to me is a cop-out, and anybody can do that. So why should we pay people three-figure salaries or three-figure salaries to do that? That's just I'm falling back on reliable. Let's just raise taxes because I can't become creative enough to generate money and keep the economy going and stay out of the red. So we need to make these people be accountable for their actions in their job, because that's their job. Again, when you go to your job and don't do your job well, you lose your job. They're not going to keep you if you can't do your job. So that's to me one of the points or the issues that we need to kind of focus on, because what we're doing right now is dealing with the surface issues and not the root cause. Here's another good example of that. You hear this saying all the time, from politicians. When I get in office, I'm going to put more police on the street. More protection is always good. I am not disputing that at all. But here is the problem. It's not that the cities are police deficient. The cities are job deficient. And that's what we need to focus on, generating more jobs for these people that need money. And again, I'm not talking about the greedy people that got money, but they just want more. I'm talking about the struggling average Joe that just don't have enough or have anything, and bills got to be paid, babies got to be fed, Roof got to be over your head, and these people become desperate and do desperate things. That's what we need to focus on. Here's a very important point that I want to make when it comes to crime, because the question is always thrown out there, well, how do you reduce crime? And the first, I guess, statement is made is this one. We do that by more police presence. Now, again, I'm all for more police presence. The more out there, the better a situation can be in most cases. But it's a slight deterrent. Most police officers are called to the scene of a crime in progress, so it's not like they've stopped it. They're about to break it up perhaps, but it's not that it will stop. The solution to me is simple. When you create more jobs, crime automatically goes down. Because if you interview most people that commit crimes and ask them why did they do it, they will simply tell you lack of money. Not that they're greedy and they just want more money. It's just lack of money. No one wakes up in the morning and say, you know what, I'm gonna go down the street and knock over that liquor store because I need a little extra money. We don't do that. You know, the majority of people that are forced or pushed into those situations, they're desperate. They don't have any money. What little jobs that they had is being taken away, or a reduction in pay. You know, like the janitors in Chicago, they want to eliminate these people's jobs. And these people are already on the bottom of the totem pole when it comes to the payroll of the city of Chicago or any city. You know, they're the smallest guy, and now they're about to be stumped on and pushed out the way. You know, those are the issues that we ignore. You know, the issue is there's just not enough jobs. And when there's not enough jobs, crime go up. When there are more jobs, crime go down. I mean, it's just pretty simple. And that's what we need to focus on. Not just putting more police on the street for the sake of putting them out there, but generating these jobs to keep these people from going out to committing crimes. So, I mean, to me, that is one of a few issues that we need to resolve and look at it from that standpoint. That's what we need to focus on. And here's another example, and I'm going to kind of wrap this video up. We have a culture in this country. You know, we do certain things, and that's fine. You know, that's just human nature. But we have a tendency in this country to sensationalize bad things and kind of suppress good things. Because again, the example that I used yesterday in my video was, if I go out today and do a lot of good Samaritan things, it won't show up on print or newspaper. It won't be on TV or the news. But if I go out with a gun and start shooting innocent people, I'm pasted over the TV for like a week at a time, news coverage. And again, we do need to be informed of bad things that happen. But in this country, we have a tendency to kind of sensationalize the bad things. And people that are unstable recognize and see this and say, hey, this is my way to get on TV and get the attention that I've been seeking and needing for a long time. We have to stop that, because here's a good example of that. In the late 60s, Charles Manson ordered a bunch of people from his following to go to Roman Polanski, I believe that's the pronunciation for his last name, if not, forgive me, and do some heinous things. And they did that. And Charles Manson has been interviewed off and on since he's been in prison, like he's a celebrity. You know, we need to stop putting these people on TV, because I don't need to see an interview by Charles Manson. I'm not a psychiatrist or psychologist, so I can't study him and try to fix him. So, you know, those interviews should be strictly for medical professionals who are trying to resolve the issues of these people that go out and do these terrible things. But instead, we paste this guy on TV, interview him like he's a celebrity when he's not. And I think that's just really wrong. These people should not be heard from the public, because again, I don't need to sit and watch an interview by a madman, you know, because I'm not getting nothing out of this other than I know he's a madman. And that airtime that they devote to these crazy, I won't say crazy, but disturbed people, that airtime could be for positive things. Someone is trying to you know, start a nonprofit organization, and they need to get the exposure to get their goods and services out there. That airtime should be used for that kind of stuff, not interviewing inmates or murderers or criminals, because again, we don't get nothing out of that. And the only reason why the media do it is for ratings, you know, not realizing that the damage is being done. And again, we're one of the few countries that do this nonsense. that we paste these people on TV every other day, interviewing them like, you know, there's some type of higher being. You know, I think it's wrong, but that's just my opinion. You know, and until we stop doing these kind of things and looking at and trying to solve the root issues of the problems, because again, it's not that the cities are police deficient, the cities are job deficient. You know, most people need some of this, you know, and if they don't have it, they're going to figure out a way to get it, you know, and that's the problem. We need to work on that, as opposed to putting a Band-Aid on the issue or the problem and the Band-Aid comes off. Then you got the problem all over again trying to solve it. Put another Band-Aid, it'll keep falling off. So that's just my opinion, and I'm one person just trying to make the world a better place and try to do the right things. And, you know, I hope that we can all get together and try to work on that and make, you know, life a very pleasant and beautiful experience instead of a lot of pain and sorrow and people doing a lot of terrible things to innocent people. So on that note, I'm going to sign off, and I thank you again as always for viewing my channel. Take care.